the fuck is up with y'all, man? Subscribe to the channel. Good morning. I'm gonna try to get these reactions out for y'all, man. Right now I got me some Reese's Puffs cereal right here, you know what I'm saying? All right, man, we're gonna go ahead and hop into this shit, man. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. This is 4 true terrifying gas station horror stories, or stories, or whatever you want to call it, you know what I mean? This is from Goodnight Goosebumps. They commented on my most recent video, I believe, so we're gonna go ahead and react to them, man. We're gonna see what the fuck they got to offer. So far it looks okay. I watched about like 10 seconds of it. It look alright, man. We're gonna go ahead and hop into it. My fault. All right, I just woke up. I'm trying to wake up, trying to get fully up.
About 7 years ago, when I was 17, my parents went out of town for a weekend and left me at home. This was a pretty common occurrence, as my parents trusted me.
Right.
I would usually spend these weekends away, staying with friends or family, as my parents' house is a bit creepy to be alone in, even during the day. We live in a small rural town where everyone knows each other, and generally, it's pretty quiet and safe. Saturday, I was supposed to stay with a friend, but her parents decided at the last minute not to let me stay. It wasn't a big deal that I had to leave. I was somewhat prepared to have to go home, because her parents got weird about company sometimes. I left her house, which is about 15 minutes from my parents' house,
Okay.
around 9:30 or 9:45. While I was on the way home, I got a weird feeling that I can't really explain. I just knew that I didn't want to go stay at my parents' alone. I called my brother and asked if I could stay with him. At the time, he was living with a woman who had a small child. He told me it'd be quieter and easier for him to just come stay with me, since his dog would bark if I tried to come in the house. He said he would be at our parents' house in 20 minutes. Side note that's relevant later. My brother's a relatively scary looking guy. He's about 6'3", 200 pounds, pretty muscular, and covered in tattoos.
Exact same size as me. I think I'm like 210 though, 209 or some shit like that. I don't know if I lost any weight, but I'm about 6'3". Last time I got weighed, last time I got my height done, it was like a year ago. I was like 6'2.5" or some shit like that. A lot of people say that the average 6 foot, like back in the day, the average 6 foot was tall as fuck, you know what I'm saying? For like movie type of motherfuckers and shit like that. If y'all ever wanted to know that. I wouldn't fully know because I wasn't alive back then. You know what I'm saying? But like the 70s, 80s, 60s, 70s, 80s, a little bit of the 90s, it seemed like everybody that's like 6 foot would have more of the roles in the movies and shit like that. That's what I was reading up on when I was watching some shit with Friday the 13th, or some shit with Halloween. There's like talking about height and shit and how it's like a staturing, you know what I'm saying? Of course there's people taller, but y'all know what I'm saying. I'm trying not to ramble.
After hanging up,
I thought that was
decided to stop at a
interesting.
gas station and grab a snack before going home, so my brother would be there when I got there. I pulled into the gas station. There were only a few cars in the lot, which is typical, because this is a small town in the rural south, where everything pretty much stops after 8 p.m. I parked and walked up to the door. There was a man standing outside the door smoking. He opened the door for me without saying anything. This is normal Southern hospitality, especially since I'm a female. I smiled and thanked him.
Right.
Inside, there was another man standing by the door.
She's a female? So he's speaking from a female's perspective? My God, bro.
I noticed him staring at me as soon as I came in.
Of course.
He gave me that gross up and down look and said something to the effect of,
"Hey, sexy, what are you doing alone?"
Creepy as fuck. I just ignored him and walked toward the back of the store. He yelled after me and called me a bitch. I still ignored him. I figured he was drunk or high or just an asshole. Most people around here talk a big game, but rarely back it up. I wasn't scared, just annoyed. I got my snacks and paid at the counter. When I walked back to the door, both the men were gone. I was happy to not have to deal with any more catcalling. I began walking across the lot toward my car, which was probably 100 feet away from the door. As I was walking, I looked down at my phone to see if enough time had passed for my brother to already be at my parents'. When I looked up, the asshole who had hit on me was standing at the pump staring. I looked at him for a second and continued walking.
"Hey, you know you're supposed to answer a man when he speaks to you,"
he said. I remember saying something snarky back to him and getting into my car. He looked pretty pissed at my sarcasm. I locked my doors as soon as I was in my car, started it, and was thinking.
I'll fast forward it back. I'll put it back. Real quick, I want to say, from the first time that he said something, you should have automatically just left. You see what I'm saying? You should have just kept it G and left. Because what he's going off now, which I was already going to say something, but I was just waiting. He's going off of respect. You know what I'm saying? That's when you go out to the pump. Oh, whenever a man's speaking to you, you know that you're supposed to answer. You know what I mean? You're supposed to answer when a man is speaking to you. He's going off the respect shit now. You know what I'm saying? So now, at the time, he already felt disrespected. Now he's really going off of disrespect, as you can see. And for you to still have sarcasm and get into your car, you should have already left. You know what I mean? But then again, you shouldn't stop your daily life because of motherfuckers hitting on you at the gas station. That type shit. But at the same time, you got to think. She had multiple warnings to leave. First, it was the first time when they said something to her or he said something to her. Then the second time was when he said bitch. You should have just left. You know what I'm saying? Don't continue to get your snacks and ignore him and shit like that because he's going off of respect now. And there's really motherfuckers out there like that, bro. That's crazy.
I looked down at my phone to see if enough time had passed for my brother to already be at my parents'. When I looked up, the asshole who had hit on me was standing at the pump staring. I looked at him for a second and continued walking.
"Hey, you know you're supposed to answer a man when he speaks to you,"
he said. I remember saying something snarky back to him and getting into my car. He looked pretty pissed at my sarcasm. I locked my doors as soon as I was in my car, started it, and was thinking of nothing but getting home to eat my snacks and hang out with my brother.
Right.
I put my car in gear and realized the man had disappeared.
Right.
I looked around before pulling out of my parking spot, only to realize that both men were sitting in a car facing mine across the lot. They were both staring at me and talking, occasionally even pointing toward me. I just stared at them, defiant and pissed. I didn't want them to think that.
This is what I'm saying. It's pissing me off because you talking about they pissing you off, sitting there and they're sitting across the lot. Bitch, get into the car. Unless I'm missing something. Hopefully I didn't skip over nothing. But your car work, you just filled it up with gas, you got your snacks, be on your way. Why are you still sitting across? Even if they sitting there talking and staring, just go. Just fucking go. You know what I'm saying? Don't sit there in your car at the gas station where the motherfuckers is calling you a bitch and trying to get at you and shit. And there's two of them. Not one, but two. Like, just go.
they scared me at all. While we were sitting having our staring contest,
Right.
the man who opened the door for me smiled and gave me the finger across the throat gesture, as in, "You're dead." I rolled my eyes and pulled out of the gas station, annoyed.
You see what I'm saying?
They pulled out.
Real quick, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna pause it no more. Why? That means that she got into her whip and was sitting there having a staring contest, thinking that she's untouchable, and just think there's really women out there like this that just her ego is getting the best of her and shit. She just don't give a fuck. If I'm using that vocab correctly, she just don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Her ego is big. She don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? She think nobody can follow her car. Like, bitch, you in a car, they in a car. There's one of you. There's only one of you. There's two of them. So, you talking about your brother and shit, but your brother is at the crib, supposed to be at the crib. So, I don't know why I keep holding quotes up. I don't know why I keep doing that. But let's just go ahead and finish it, man.
Out behind.
Said she rolled her eyes and then pulled out the gas station annoyed. Like, what the fuck? Bruh, you should have just left. Like, sis, you should have left.
I hadn't been scared up until this point, because, as I said, most people here are a lot of talk with no follow-through. Instead of going home, I took a few back roads that connect back in a sort of circle to see if they were really following me, which, of course, they were. When they realized I was testing them, they drove up really close to me and started laying on the horn. I couldn't see their headlights, they were so close. I called my brother and told him what was going on. He told me to come home and he would handle it. I started driving home. The two assholes were still on my ass, blowing the...
Little girl, I don't know how old she is, so she driving, so I ain't gonna call her no little girl, but you need to get your ass home, okay? You need to go home. You need to hurry the fuck up and get the fuck home. You shouldn't be sitting here wasting all this fucking time on these motherfuckers. Keep in mind, all this time, she been wasting her energy and shit on these two motherfuckers. From the time that she walked, from the time that they said something, she was wasting her energy on them, because you're taking too much time to leave the gas station. You're taking too much time to... You're just taking too much time to get the fuck home. You see what I'm saying? She's taking too long.
On the horn.
Taking too fucking long.
Even with my detours, I was only about 3 or 4 minutes from my parents' house. I slowed down to pull in the driveway.
Okay.
And I was immediately relieved.
Alright,
right. At the end of the driveway, my brother was standing shirtless, with his shoulders back, and hands crossed in front of his stomach, clearly holding a pistol. His intimidating-looking pit bull sitting by his side. I drove around him into the yard. The two guys actually started to pull in behind me until they saw my brother. Then they hightailed it out of there. I have no idea what they would have done if I had stopped somewhere alone or kept driving.
That's what I'm saying.
I always
You took too long.
That image of him standing there like a badass, ready to protect me. I'm truly thankful he was there.
Right, but you had to get your ass there, bitch. You can't be like thankful for him. He's there. You gotta get there.
When I was younger, every year for Christmas, I would drive upstate to my aunt's house, all on a stretch of highway.
Number 2.
I cannot, for the life of me, remember the name of this road.
Okay.
All I know is it runs nearby Akron, New York at some point. However, most of the drive is through rural areas.
Right.
With little to no towns nearby.
Right.
So, it was the dead of night, and my groggy self had gotten off a long shift, and had to drag my ass to my aunt's house, since my extended family was expecting me the following morning. Near halfway through the drive, I realized I was low on gas, which irritated me. My brother told me he had filled it up the day before, so either he forgot or he was straight lying. I saw an archaic-looking sign for a gas station off the next road. It wasn't an official road sign, literally a pole with a slab of metal attached with "Gas station off next exit," or something along those lines painted on it. That seemed a little sketchy, but people do the same thing with fruit stands on highways, so whatever. I pulled off the next exit onto some dilapidated, country-ass road through dense woods.
Right.
The whole thing was creepy and surreal. I kept expecting Leatherface to come running out of the trees with a chainsaw. Anyway, eventually, I came to the gas station and realized quickly it hadn't been open for years.
Mm-hmm.
It was all rusted, and the convenience store's roof was caving in.
You need to go.
The gas pumps had all been taken out as well.
You need to go.
I pulled over next to it and checked my gauge. I would probably only make it another half mile before running out.
You need to.
So I called AAA, and they said they sent a truck over. Now, I play the waiting game. I left my engine on, because when the headlights were off, everything was pitch black, and my paranoid self wasn't sitting next to an abandoned gas station, in the middle of a forest in complete darkness. So, most of the wait went uneventful, until I sensed movement around the side of the old store, where my lights are pointed. I look up, but didn't see anything more, so I look back down at my phone.
You see what I'm saying now, look. Now listen to me. Hear me out. You out there, you said that you ain't going to be sitting there, this, that, and the third. You sitting there right now at an abandoned gas station that you think something is moving around. You think you're seeing something moving around by it. Just, you need to, if you're going to call AAA, call. If there's an, I feel like, if there's an abandoned gas station, it's abandoned for a reason. And workers like AAA and anyone else that tows or needs, helps people on the road and shit like that, I feel like if that gas station is abandoned, then there ain't no address for it no more. You know what I'm saying? And if there is an address, it's not on record to where someone can still find it. You know what I mean? And be like, they're here at this gas station. Now, I might be going too deep, but also let me say this. It's like, I would rather, he said he only got what? A mile and a half? Or did he say a half a mile left on his gauge? So, boom. I would just drive a little bit further up the road to where I'm on a good part of the road. I don't know, bro. Like I said, I might be like, because I could be wrong. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like if I go up the road, I could still be wrong. But I feel like just waiting at a gas station and then you saying that there ain't even no gas pumps, there's nothing there, it's just an abandoned area, and you think that you seeing motherfuckers. Like I would have just went up to, like, I don't know, bro. I don't know. Let me just keep finishing it. I ain't gonna keep pausing it. I just had to say that.
Over the sounds of the night, I hear someone yell,
Hey buddy, come here.
No.
I look up, and I shit you not, there's a dude standing by the old store, looking toward me, illuminated by my headlights.
Should have laughed.
He looked like a run-of-the-mill homeless guy. I was honestly spooked, and figured he must have been squatting there. Still watching him, I rolled down my window and yelled something like, Yeah, what's up? Still mentally crapping myself. I had my foot ready to floor it out of there at the first sign of trouble.
You got any change?
Nah, I don't. Sorry, man. I look up at him. He has this kind of vacant expression and is standing stiff. Then, I see more movement. There are heads. About 20 or so heads, peeking around trees beyond the man I'm talking to.
Wow.
I can't see them clearly at all, but they're definitely people. Literally, just heads.
Nigga, I just got goosebumps. I just got chills. I don't even know if you could see. You probably can't. Like, you ever, like, get that shit, like, when your armpits itch? Bruh, you need to fucking get the fuck up out of there. Like I said, I knew it, bruh. I knew it. That there was motherfuckers there, even if it's not, they cannot be real motherfuckers. It could be, oh, you know what's crazy? Think about this scenario. Think about if that gas station blew up. You know what I'm saying? Or think about if that gas station was robbed and people were killed, or, you know what I mean? Some shit like that. Those could be like spirits, you know what I'm saying? Lost souls and shit. Like I said, I could be thinking too deep, but you never know. We'll see in a minute. But either way, whether they real or whether they in spirit version, I feel like they still dangerous, you know what I'm saying? So let's just go ahead and finish this.
staring in my direction from around the trees.
Said 20 or so.
I see
20?
another guy beginning to walk up from around the gas station. And then I turned around and sped off. I got as far away from that place as my tank could carry.
That's like a high school football
and
team.
updated
College
AAA on my
football team.
location.
Bro. 20 heads, 25
The driver
heads.
came back over and filled me up. And I didn't say anything. But after he left, I wanted to call the cops. So I called the nearest town sheriff department. They said they'd send a trooper over, and I gave them the location. When I got to my aunt's house, they called me back and said whoever was there was gone. But they could tell a large number of people had been living there for a while. Blankets, canned food, the usual.
So he's seen as many heads as he's seen. He's seen about first string. There's what on a football field there's 7 heads, right? So you do the math. 7 plus 7, 14. Another 7 after that, 21, right? 21. So that's first, second, third string. Like that's or first and second string, including cheerleaders. You know what I'm saying? College, high school football, bro. I'm telling you, bro. Nah, bro.
The usual.
Imagine all them
The whole
heads
situation still
just pop,
freaks me
just
out.
looking at you.
But frankly, I can consider myself lucky. I'll always have a creepy story to tell.
That's too many people.
I'm just glad nothing bad happens.
Right.
So, to the creepy dudes at the gas station, let's not ever meet.
Okay, real quick, I want to ask y'all, because this is my first time reacting to Good Night Goosebumps. Are these different people, like different characters, not the narrators, these different characters, or is it the same character, different scenarios type shit? You know what I mean? Because I heard her say, or him say, or her say, my brother. I talked to my brother or something at the beginning of this. So, and then the one before this, the first one, was talking about a brother. So it might be the same character, just different scenarios. I'm going to finish it, though. I'm going to stop pausing it. I know y'all probably tired of me pausing
When I was
shit.
17, 18-ish, I was driving home from a friend's house after a movie marathon.
Mm-hmm.
It was around 1 a.m. when I left, and
Okay.
a decent drive.
All right.
Not quite halfway, my gas light came on. I had had a few creepy catcall experiences at gas stations,
I think,
and was a little paranoid stopping that late in the middle of nowhere.
okay, I think this is the number 3 of the stories. And I got to cut my nails. This is number 3 of the story. And I think this is the same person. This is the same character, I mean. So, because she talking about the cat calls and all that shit. So let's go ahead and finish the shit.
Nowhere. As a 110-pound teenage girl,
Right. Okay, this is the same
in
thing.
the end,
Same
I
girl.
think if I wasn't so cautious, I could have been kidnapped or killed.
Right.
The first gas station I came across was well lit, and was in a pretty open space. I drove up to the pump and looked around my car mirrors before getting out.
Sorry, y'all. My eyes is
As I
dry.
was starting to pump gas,
When y'all see me go like this, my
small
eyes
guy
is dry.
comes out of the gas station shop and starts smoking a cigarette.
I be smoking and shit.
The pump kept clicking off and not working.
And I
So
got
I started
contacts.
messing with it, trying to get it to pump. This guy starts watching me, laughing. I assumed he was just laughing to himself,
Right.
watching a teenage girl trying to pump gas. After getting maybe a quarter of a gallon, I gave up and moved to a new pump. At this point, if I didn't do absolutely everything I did, I think I would have been screwed.
Mm-hmm.
When I got back into my car, I locked my doors just to drive to the other pump. I checked all my mirrors before getting out, or shutting off my car again. It was an old 90s Beetle that didn't always start right away.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I saw the guy walking up to my car.
Mm-hmm.
He was smiling, walking up to the driver's side window. Not wanting him next to me, I rolled down the passenger window.
Okay, like I said, I know I wasn't going to pause and shit like this, but I'm going to pause real quick. Right now it seems kind of harmless. It's still creepy, but right now it seems kind of harmless because she's a teenager. Well, first of all, she's a teenager. He's an adult. So, I don't know how old of, like, because she could be 19 or 18. That's legal, but it's still a teen. So, I don't know if she's that age or if she said younger. I can't remember, but she's in a 98 or a 97 Beetle or a 90s Beetle, whatever. And she's little, you know what I mean? And she's trying to pump gas, and then she had to switch the pumps and shit like that. So he could be laughing at that, and he probably is about to ask her if she need help or some shit like that. So right now it seems kind of harmless. But just the way that she's explaining it, or the way that he's explaining it from her, you know, from her perspective, is like she's kind of creeped out. So that's where the spookiness come in. So we gonna go ahead and finish this shit. I don't want to take too long on this video.
Then smiled to himself and walked to the passenger window. He stuck his head all the way inside my window to talk to me.
Right.
Hey, I know this seems really weird, but I promise I'm not a creep or anything. My car broke down.
He pointed to a red SUV in the parking lot.
And I need a ride home.
No.
It's just half a mile up the road.
Sorry, but I don't know you.
Oh no, I totally get it. I thought it was pretty...
Never pick up, bro, I'm so sorry. Never pick up a hitchhiker, bruh. Like when I first seen I think it was Creep Show with the, hold on, let me look it up. I think it's Creep Show with the Thanks for the Ride with the hitchhiker. I'm gonna see real quick. Thanks for the ride. Yup, it's right here. Hold on, I'm gonna let y'all hear it. Hold on.
The brand with more 2020 IIHS Top Safety
I'm
Awards
sorry if
on
this
the
video is.
Toyota
I like to prove my point. I like to give y'all good content. Y'all can't see it, but this is the scene that I was talking about. Creep Show 2. Thanks for the ride, lady. I just want to let y'all hear it real quick, if y'all haven't heard it.
You're seeing things, bitch. You can't live with it.
Right now, he just disappeared in the thin air, showing no where he at. Now he popped up on her.
How you doing, lady?
Y'all,
Thanks for the ride.
y'all hear it? Thanks for the ride, lady. He keeps saying it too. This is just, we're only like 2 minutes in. This whole clip, this scene is like 10 minutes long of this happening. But that's what I was telling y'all about, man. It's just, that's what it reminds me of. Like, it's just, ever since I seen that scene, I never wanted to, and I'm a dude, you know what I mean? I just don't want to pick no hitchhikers up, no nothing, bro. I just don't trust it because of that situation from that movie. So let's just go ahead and finish this real quick. So let me tell you, the scene is from Creep Show 2. Thanks for the ride. If y'all ever want to watch the movie, it's called Creep Show 2.
Pretty weird as I was walking up here.
I ain't gonna
But
pause it.
it's only like half a mile up the road. I'm totally stranded.
I wish I could help you, but I really don't know you.
Yeah, I got you. If you had a truck or something, I'd offer to ride in the back.
He looked expectantly. Sorry, no. All of a sudden.
Bruh, I'm lucky. I'm very happy that I'm smart. This motherfucker talking, oh, I wish the trunk was bigger or you had a trunk because I ride in the back. No, bitch, you ain't riding in the back because all you got to do is push them seats down. I don't think, not every car has that, especially like a 90s Beetle, I don't think, but you know you could, if you're in the trunk, you could push them seats back. You could push them seats down and then end up in the back seat. Nah, bro. Nope.
His demeanor flipped.
Nope.
He looked totally pissed.
Got
He yanked at my door, but I had locked it before. Then, he reached for my inside door handle through the window.
Bitch, pull
My
off.
car was still running, and I slammed it into first and peeled out.
Yeah.
As he opened the door, the car taking off slammed it shut.
You never even should
and
have
I
ran.
sped off.
You never should have rolled down the
I
window.
called the police after I got away. They looked at the gas station cameras, and right after I left, he got into his red SUV and drove off.
After he
If I
said it
had
was
locked my
better.
doors the second time, I think I would have been fucked.
Yeah.
If I let him come to the driver's side window, he could have grabbed me.
Yeah.
If I had shut my car off, I wouldn't have been able to drive off in time.
Because it wouldn't have started